difference between augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality. It is a range of experiences. On one hand, we have virtual reality, which is a total immersive experience where you put on a headset and you are disconnected from your environment. Everything you see and interact is a 3D generated object. And on the other hand, for augmented reality, you have a connection to your environment, like in HoloLens, and you have some extra information, maybe 3D or maybe audio information that's available to you, which is augmenting your reality. Also, we have mobile phone applications like Pokemon Go. You are looking through the glass of your phone and you're able to find 3D objects in the real world. And this whole range of experiences we call mixed reality. And short, it's called XR.
Hi, Daria. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me here. Hi, everyone
Yeah.
who's online.
Yes, so you are going to present a great talk. Your talk is called How to Make Your XR App Showing the Needed ROI.
Yeah.
Very interesting topic. Can you please introduce yourself a bit? What do you do in your daily work, in your daily life?
That's a good question. Okay, my name is Daria. I'm a founder and CEO of VAR Studio. My daily life is the routine of entrepreneur because I founded my company 6 years ago, and we are focused on this XR technology family. So that's what I do. I manage my team. I manage business. I do the development of my business, like a lot of stuff.
Really a lot of stuff. Very busy, I
Yeah.
assume. Yeah. Okay, so the floor is yours. Good luck with your session.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's go. Um, well, firstly, welcome to this session. If you are here, I assume that you've already tried some AR and VR before. And today I'm gonna share some of our experience that we collected during the 6 years in the market uh, on how to make your XR solution show when the needed ROI. It's always different what you need. It could be boosting sales, bringing brand awareness, helping your employees train more effectively. And XR solution is not a fun thing, just a fun thing to add to your training curriculum or some marketing team. It's a business tool, and as an every business tool, it should show the ROI. It should be effective. It should bring the benefits to your business. I'm happy to be here. And the short introduction of who I am and what we do with VAR Studio. I'm very passionate about technologies of augmented and virtual reality. I founded this company 6 years ago, and it all started from a big passion and love because I truly believe that these technologies can change any any type of business operations and make it faster, make it more effective, and help gain the goals and solve the problems they have in different levels. So what we do, we create AR and VR solutions to solve specific pain points on the side of different businesses, industries. We work with corporate innovation, we work with startups, we work with Industry 4.0, we work with marketing and brands across different like retail, e-commerce, fashion, and so on and so forth. So these are the four main segments we work with, and you can see some big names here as well as small startups names. It doesn't matter because we're proud of each our project. We are proud of each of our clients. So yeah, this is what we do. And the field of expertise we cover is just for you to understand that I have some expertise in this, and it's a proof of this expertise. We cover this full cycle of development. It all starts usually from the consultation of our clients. What is XR? What's the difference between different technologies? How they can use that in their specific way? What is the value behind these technologies for this niche, for this business, for this industry? Uh, we also do the ideation, the creative session. We come up with the list of ideas that might bring value to this specific business. We do the technology research and consultation as well. We build rapid prototypes to help validate ideas in a fast way, and the full cycle development. I mean, when we already came up with an idea and we agreed to go with that, we go into the full cycle development process: programming, 3D modeling, content integration, user experience and user interface development for sure, and do this delivery, support, data tracking, and analytics. And today, I would not talk about technologies itself. I won't talk about any developments things. I will talk globally on how to make your XR show the ROI, how to make it effective, and how to think a little bit behind of this XR story, because when you consider XR as the business tool, then you have to treat it as a business tool. And we will talk about this. So I divided this lecture in 4 main modules. The first one is business analysis. The second one is planning. The third one is integration. And the fourth one is data tracking. These are 4 segments I understood that are crucial to have if you want to show the ROI on the XR solution you're developing. If you want to have this return on investment, then you have to have these 4 segments. That's from our experience. I'm sure it's gonna be different from case to case. It's gonna be different from industry to industry. But this core understanding of this business tool, I think it's gonna be the same. So let's go. We will start with the first segment, the business analysis. And let's see why it is important to do this business analysis if you want to have a high ROI in the end. So the first part is you have to do this business analysis to understand the market, to understand the trends, to understand your target audience, to understand what are the challenges you are going to solve, what is this core problem or the list of problems, and what is the value proposition. And for sure, there can be more bullets in here, more small segments. It depends on your business. But before you go into development, even of some simple MVP or demo, just stop for a second and ask yourself these questions. Discuss it with your team. Do the market research. Search for the references, for examples. Look on the competitors. What do they do with this XR technology? Maybe they've already published something and you can just take a look, get inspired, or just check the user experience and so on. Check all the relevant existing apps on the App Store, Play Market, I don't know, Steam, and so on. Just check what it is already on the market and see how it feels. See the user experience, the content, check the trends, check the statistics on different use cases. Just go and Google what are the statistics on the ROI of AR in retail or in marketing or in Industry 4.0. You have to do this homework before you go into this whole story of investment into XR development and then integration into your business. Then the crucial part here is your target audience. Who are these people? What is this customer profile? Who are your ideal customers? What devices will they use? What type of behavior? Because each customer profile, they have their behavior patterns. and you have to understand what are they to make your user experience in the XR more relevant to them, more valuable to them, clear and understandable. Check the geography and other specifications. It's just essential to do this job and do your research in the target audience. Why? Because you will go into the value proposition and you will create this value for them, and you have to understand for whom you're creating this value. If it is your employees, then you have to understand what are the challenges on their side. How they gonna use this XR? Will it be sitting or standing? What will be the lightning, and so on and so forth. What are the languages they speak? And so many things are here. And all of that depends on the results you're gonna have with this XR solution, because you have to solve the problem, not creating a new one with this XR, right? Because sometimes people are not going into this target audience research. And then we had a situation when we were developing the VR solution with our client, and they had their target audience were professors and teachers in the universities and adult people who are 50 plus, and they were not very familiar with VR. But our client was very happy with this idea. They were so inspired, and they forgot to do this target audience analysis. And then when they delivered the first version of the app, professors and teachers, they were just shocked that they have to use the VR glasses. They were frightened. They didn't know how to do that. They felt stupid. They didn't want to use that. And after that first version, they said, "Sorry, but can you please do a desktop version for us so we can just run it on our laptops?" Because that felt usual for them. They felt comfortable with that. They felt safe with that. And that's why you have to do this target audience research first, and then come up with the ideas of what type of user experience can be. Okay, let's go next. The challenges to be solved. I know it can sound like very, very usual and simple, but sometimes I see that companies and startups, they just forget about it. They're so inspired with the XR thing, and oh, you can imagine we can do this and we can do that. But then just stop for a second and think, what is the challenge? What is the problem you're going to solve with this solution? Are you going to reduce the death accidents at the workplace, or decrease the number of product returns, or boost the sales, or speed up the training process, or cut the shipping expenses? Anything can be like, it will always be different because it's always about your business, about your operations, and what you have in there. So just stop, think about it, and divide this challenge or a group of challenges that are connected and go with them. Then the value proposition, that's the next logical theme here. You have to define the value of XR for your business and for the end customer, because usually they might be different. XR can solve the pain point on the business, and in the meantime, it can do the same for the end customer, and it can bring the different value to both of them. So you have to think about it. You have to do your research on that, and keep it in mind, and keep it in your document, text specification or project specification you have, and communicate that with your development team further. Okay, so this is what about business analysis. The core thing here is to do your homework, do your research, think about the challenges, think about value proposition, have a clear portrait of your target audience. Who are they? What are their preferences, behavior patterns, and so on and so forth. And after that, you can go to the next level. It's planning. And I divided the whole planning process into 3 levels. The first level is like a high level. You plan the goals. What goals do you want to achieve? Clear goals, not only just boost the sales, but boost the sales of what product, on what market and what geography, is it online or is it in store, and all the details. Then sets the clear KPIs. You have to understand what should be the numbers in the result. What are your goals in the numbers? Because after you will compare and you will understand what is the ROI, what is the effectiveness of this solution, and so forth. Then you have to put the timeline just to understand what is this time you're spending on the XR, on planning, development, integration. What are the deadlines? What is the budget you're comfortable to allocate for this XR solution and invest in it? What are the main milestones? For example, the first milestone, you do this project specification, high level. The second milestone, you discuss it with the list of developers. The third milestone, you create a short list of developers. Then you go to the technical specification document creation. Then you go to the MVP development, and like step by step, you just have to understand what are the milestones. If you don't know exactly what they can be because you are developing this XR the first time and you don't know what to expect, you can always Google. That's first. You can always ask for advice or help. There are a lot of XR advisors in the market who can help you with that. There are a lot of articles and posts about that, so you can easily find that information if you're looking for it. But it's better for you to be educated in that, because then you can feel safe. Then you can plan this whole story with this development and integration, and understand what to expect and manage your expectations. And also on the first level, it's crucial to divide the responsibilities to understand who's from your side, from your team, is responsible for this project, who's responsible for content or for communication with developers, and so on. The second level of planning is when you do this basic tech research, basic idea concept description. You think about experience environment. At least you should start thinking about it. Your target audience, how they gonna use this app? Will they be at work or at home or on the street or in the shop? What will be the internet connection? What will be the lighting? Because for augmented reality, it's crucial to have a good lighting in the room. What will be the placing of your experience? Should you place a specific booth or specific environment for it, or can it run in your usual environment? And there are a lot of different nuances in this experience environment. You have to think those small things. And the hardware research, just check what are the classes on the market. For example, if you want to go with the VR, or what are the platforms for AR on the web or mobile applications. Just do your small research in here, because on the third level, you will go and talk to developers, and they're going to ask you all of these questions. So it's better for you to be ready, just to cut the time on this communication, just to be ready for it, and manage your expectations and the expectations of the development team. Why it is important? I mean, why it is important to have this planning stage if we're talking about the ROI and the effectiveness of your solution? Because if to make a few steps back, you will see that the final result, it totally depends on this process, and it all starts with planning. As good you plan it, as good will be the result in the end. So I know it sounds simple, but it is what it is. And I saw, like, we delivered around 60 plus projects in AR and VR, even more. And I saw different approaches. I saw different planning stages. And I can tell you, the better you plan your project, the better will be the result. That's just from my experience. And when you are on the third level, you do this planning already together with your development team, and you will create together with them, or they will do it for you, the tech specification with all the details on the technologies, user experience, content, logics, mechanics inside of your solution. You should also talk about content repurposing, because usually our clients, they have already some existing content assets, 3D, 360, 2D images, animations, videos, and so on. And some of them can be used in your project. Just think about it and create the short list of the content you can use in there and show it to your developers. It's better to do beforehand, before you go into the development, because that will also affect the ROI and the effectiveness and successfulness of your solution in the end. Well, go and discuss the deadlines. And if you have a time sensitive event, for example, some kind of presentation or launching a new product on the market or some conference or exhibition or something like that, it should be it should be like a big announcement to all your team and your development contractors that you have this time sensitive event, and everybody should be aware of that, because sometimes it can take much time to do some of the works on the content or on the development. And if the development team would not be aware of that, you can be late on some of the milestones, and that could affect the final result. Then the third segment we have is integration. It is important to make it successful, and then you will see why. When you develop this XR solution, it's not just a separate item that you can publish on App Store, Play Market, or anywhere else and wait for magic to happen. It would not happen. You have to integrate it into your business. You have to connect the puzzles. You have to connect all the parts. Your marketing strategy, it should be aligned with your new XR product if you're using it for marketing purposes, or your curriculum program, or your HR processes, or your IT department. They have to be connected with this new AR or VR solution. Also, it's very often situation when you do the backend integration. If you already have some backend, some server with where you host the content, where you have some apps, and you want to connect this logics, and you want to integrate the XR into your existing ecosystem family of your solutions, then you have also planned the backend integration properly and beforehand to make sure that it works, that it all connected, that you don't have any errors, any issues, and it's going to be okay in the end when you publish the solution or you go into the event and present it. Then you have to have the communication strategy for your newly deployed XR solution. Why? Because no one would know about it if you would not tell about it. And it's funny, but sometimes we see the situation when the clients they just publish and they wait for users to come and see, oh, what a beautiful AR app, or what a beautiful VR solution we have in here. But that would not happen. You have to communicate. You have to use different sources, different interfaces, and you have to communicate the value of this solution and what type of challenge will it solve and why your end customers have to use that. Also, it is very important to have internal communication and internal announcements, because that's also a usual situation when a big corporation, for example, or some, I don't know, medium-sized business, they launch the VR solution or AR app, and they do not announce it for their teams, for their different departments. People are just not aware that their company just launched the VR app. They don't know about it. They haven't tried it, and they can get to know it like a few weeks after or a few months after. They will be quite shocked. And I assume it's a big mistake in here because your team, your employees, your departments, these are the first people who have to try that out. They will be your advocates. They will be your focus group. They can provide you with the feedback. And I assume this is just crucial to have this announcement for your team and for your employees to check that out and to be the advocates in the market and communicate it. Also, it's one of the sources to communicate your newly deployed XR solution. And the fourth segment is data tracking. As you might know, the data tracking is like a fuel for your future business decisions. It may show you that you are using this type of content more effectively, or what are the preferences of your users. You can track a crazy number of data in VR and AR solutions. And this data is a little bit more specified if you compare with the data tracking on the websites or usual apps, because AR is integrated into the environment of the user. It's in 3D. It's more natural. It's more engaging, and you can track this data on the level of engagement, of interactions with different type of content. You can track the interests of your users inside of your solution, and the VR is just it's just a crazy source of data. You can track the eyes. You can literally understand how the intention of your user is moving inside of this VR solution. Where are they looking? How much time do they look at that object and this object? How they react on some of the interactions or some of the user experience inside of the app. And for sure, you can track some like basic numbers on the views, impressions, and numbers of app shares. You can check the number of user clicks or geolocation, but you can also check the engagement level, the content interactions, user behavior, gaze, attention, body movements, speech recognition. It's just crazy. And what you have to do in here, just to understand what data do you need to track, what will it show you, what are the conclusions will you make from this data, and just include it into this development scope and tell your developers that you need this data. In the end, you have to understand this, and that, because then, based on this data, you can make your conclusions on how successful was this solution, how effective it was, how it really helped you to gain your goals, and make a decision if you're ready to move forward, if you want to scale this solution on new geographies, new products, or new departments. Like it will just open your eyes and show you the real situation on how you're using your XR solution. So these four segments I'm finding just essential to have if you're planning the XR solution integration into your business and you want to show the ROI to your boss, to your co-founders, to the investors, no matter. And as far as we're using XR for solving business challenges, we have to talk about that much more than we are having this in industry right now. And if you'll be interested, just give me a text in LinkedIn. I'm always happy to communicate on this kind of topics. So here's an example, because I want to show you how it works in real. This is the AR application for one of our clients. And I will tell you a story how they did it and what were the results for their business, what was the ROI in the end. The client is a gas station chain. I've shared this use case a lot, but because it has real great numbers, and I just love it. Well, they had this coffee mugs, and they had the idea to have this marketing campaign while Christmas and New Year holidays. And we created 5 different types of coffee mugs, and each coffee mug was activated through the application in augmented reality. And the 3D content appears, and you can interact with it. First year, you can just view the content and what is happening in there. And the second year, we created the interaction. We created a karaoke where you can sing songs together with the AR characters. And let's check the video and then I will share some details. Yeah, so that was 2 videos, one from the one year and another from the next year. You've seen this coffee mugs, you've seen the augmented reality on top of that. And from the average person on the street, from their end customers, it's just a fun thing, a Christmas activation on the coffee mugs, one-time use or something like that. But from the business end, it was totally different. That's why I was talking about these different values for one for business and another value for your customer, because they are usually absolutely different. For the end customer, it was engaging, it was fun, it shared the Christmas mood. They were sharing this experience in their Instagram and Facebook and TikTok. They were doing these videos. They collected the cups all together with their kids or their families. They just were having a cool time at the gas station with their favorite brand, and they really enjoyed it. The next year, they were having a cool time again, but also interacting and singing the karaoke, and then collecting the points and exchanging these points into the discounts for the guests. Also, great thing to have, right? From the business end, we were selling additional coffee, additional snacks on the gas station because people were so excited about these cups. They wanted to buy more. They wanted to have the whole collection. They were buying coffee, different beverages, different snacks. And also, we generated additional sales through this app because we were providing them with promo codes on the discount on the gas. And we integrated, when I talked about the integration, we integrated this AR app with their backend, with their loyalty program on the backend, and we were generating these promo codes in real time, and we were tracking in real time how many promo codes do we have, and we were adjusting them in real time for the business needs. So let's see from the integration. They integrated this AR application into their marketing strategy. Actually, they created a marketing strategy around this AR app. It was in the center, and all of these things around were helping it to gain the main goal is to boost the sales. They had 3 radio spots to share the mood. They had 5 video spots to simulate user behavior. Because before that, they did their homework, they did the analysis of their target audience, and they understood that they have 5 main portraits of their end customers. And they understood that each customer of these 5 portraits, they have different behavior patterns. And that's why they created 5 different video spots to be relevant to each of this user and user portrait. Then they created 50 photo zones that were placed all around the gas stations. They created 16 events on top gas stations around Kiev, and they used the partnerships with 14 influencers in the Instagram. That's how they generated the traffic from Instagram, and people were coming just to check this fun coffee mugs with augmented reality because they saw the influencer, their favorite blogger on Instagram, were using that. So this is how they integrated into marketing. They created this communication strategy. All of their internal employees were aware of what's happening. We integrated it with their content, with their backend, with their loyalty program. And they did, before that, a few steps before, they did their homework and they started doing this research almost 6 months before we were starting the development itself. So they were really serious about it. And that's why what I'm sharing here is that it's better for you to do this homework, to do the research a few months before you go into the development discussion. And the results. We had 120K apps downloads. We had 9K karaoke sessions were conducted through this application. And the two great results of this app, we sold more than 300,000 liters of gas through this application, additionally to their regular level of sales in the Christmas season. And it gave us around 300% ROI on this investment into the augmented reality application. And I found it just amazing. And I wanted to share it with you on the real example of how it can be and what are the things you have to pay attention to when you go into this development. I hope it was helpful. I hope I've shared something that will help you in future when you're going to plan your XR solution, develop it, and integrate it into your business. And then I hope to hear from you the great numbers on the ROI, on the sales, on the improvements in your operations, and overall in business. Please let me know if you would have any questions. I'm ready to answer them right now, or if if not, I'm always in touch in LinkedIn. So I guess it is what I had for today, and we can switch to the questions.
Hey, interesting session and great results.
Thank you. I also love
Yeah,
it.
looks like a solid end-to-end approach for such a project. Sounds really great.
Thank you.
However, there are a couple of questions for you. One is
Cool.
from Matthias, and he says planning in an onion-like framework makes sense on a wide scope view. However, that makes Matthias think of a waterfall approach. And what about more hybrid processes, like for instance code dev with the client?
Mm-hmm. It's a good question. As I said, it always depends on the client and the situation they have and how fast do they want to move. Sometimes you can start just with the simple research and build in a fast prototype. And then after that, you collect the feedback from the market or focus group or some friends and relatives first. And then you can go into planning a little bit later into this detailed research and planning. Because sometimes you don't have really enough time to do that. For sure, in this ideal world, it's better to do that. But yeah, it depends on the situation. For sure, you can go with some small steps and adjust it to your situation, adjust it to your business. Because in the end, the goal we have is to help your business solve better results, solve the problems, and gain the better results in the end. So it's better to use this scenario and the script that works for you.
Yeah. And when you do a very proper research and you actually know what you are going to build, then you don't need those hybrid approaches.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, It's just, again, it's the situation, it's the time frame you are in, it's the expectations of your team, your bosses, your investors. It's always so many things around you that influences on how you're gonna move with the planning. So just good luck with that. Really.
Okay.
It's always different.
Experiment with it and see
Yeah,
what fits best for that project and that client.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Matthias had another question, but I lost the context a bit. Maybe you know it. Where needs are not so linear and there will be some discovery elements in the mix.
If I understood the question right, if mm, for sure, like from our experience, we usually start with one script with one user scenario, and then in the process of development, for example, if the project is medium size and the development can take up to half a year, the technical specification, the understanding of target audience, the understanding of user experience inside of this app can be discovered in a new way while you're developing that, while you're testing the first versions. Because when you plan it, it's one thing, but when you put on the glasses and you are inside of this experience of the first version of it, and you can already feel it through, you can already go through some basic experience, surely you will come up with the more ideas and more things to add in there. It's just crucial to have in mind that target audience portrait, the goals you're gonna gain with this app, and just sometimes stop yourself from adding more and more. These discoveries are okay, they're great to have, but again, it's the question how relevant it is to your situation.
Okay, thanks. So that's basically it. Those were the questions from the audience.
Okay.
Matthias wants to apologize for monopolize the conversation. No worries, Matthias. We are very happy with your questions. Thank
Absolutely.
you for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So Daria,
Uh,
thank you so much for this session and for being here. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you too. Thank you. It's a big pleasure. Enjoy your day and let XR be with you.
Yes, let's do that. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.